We're back with GTCC chef instructor Alan Romano answering your questions. How long is leftover turkey good once it's frozen?
Once it's frozen, I would once it really you got 7 days from the time it comes out. I wouldn't even keep it that long, but really 7 days is the max. That's
Even
it.
if it's frozen?
I mean cooked frozen, right?
Yes, cooked frozen.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Yeah, I wouldn't go more than that.
Okay, how long should a 16-pound turkey bake and on what temperature?
I like to start out about 400 degrees and then cut it down to 300 after about 30 minutes. It'll probably take minimum 3 hours. You got to figure anywhere between 4 or 5 pounds per hour at least. At least it all depends on every oven's different. You know, that's why you got to temp, and you got to baste it too. You want to baste it.
Okay, and that's just putting the juices back on top of it.
Oh, the juices, right? Yeah, the natural juices from it. Butter is good. Fat, some kind of fat.
All right, this person says, how long do I air fry an 8-pound turkey?
If you have a big enough air fryer, it won't take very long. Probably 8 pounds. I've never done that before, an 8-pound turkey, but I would guess, again, go with the temperature thing. I'm not going to tell you something I'm not sure, but I would go with the temperature. Just make sure you don't burn it, because it'll cook really quick.
Right, and you can always Google your kind of turkey fryer to see what they say about that, because everyone's different.
Right.
All right, this person says, can I cook my turkey breast side down?
Definitely, definitely. A lot of times cooking the turkey breast side down is better because you get more juices from the thigh and legs that will keep the breast more moist. But presentation-wise, it's not the nicest. Once you turn it over, the skin kind of breaks and everything else. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
So either way works.
This person says, I'm cooking the mac and cheese for dinner. The dinner is over 2 hours away. Will it be okay in the back of the car for 2 hours?
Right, and I would keep it cold. I would cook it ahead of time and chill it down and bring it there cold and just heat it up at 1 to 165, and it'll be a lot better.
Okay, yeah, use that thermometer and heat it into the middle of the center. Okay, this is a thermometer question. Where do we put the thermometer on the bird to check the temperature?
So most times, like when you buy a frozen turkey, you'll see that little popper. It's in the breast. That's I don't even use them things because that usually overcooks it. But you always take the thermometer, your thermometer, put it in the thickest part of the thigh. And that's where you want it, and that's for 165 degrees, because the thigh meat's going to cook a lot, and the leg meat's going to cook a lot slower than the breast meat. So that's so if you know that your breast is 160, or your thigh is 165 degrees, your breast is done. And you don't want to overcook it.
Can you put your turkeys in a cooler to thaw?
Yes, I do that personally, but don't, make sure it doesn't get above 41 degrees. What I do is I take it right from the freezer and I take it out of the package, put it in the cooler, throw ice. Actually, I throw a liquid brine on it, and put ice in it. And sure, but always keep ice on it constantly and make sure it doesn't go above 41 degrees. And it'll thaw nicely, and it'll actually give you a nice tender turkey.
Okay, this person says, is it safe to boil a turkey overnight?
Why would you want to do that?
I don't know. Okay, let's go to the next question. Is it true?
It is safe, but it is safe, sure. No, I wouldn't boil it overnight, no. No.
Is it true that it's easier to carve with an electric knife?
I'm not really good with it. I know electric chainsaw I'm good with, but not a knife. It works. It's whatever your preference is. It's fine. It works.
All right, this person says, do you tent the turkey breast when cooking? I want a crispier skin.
Yes, like if you want a crispier skin, just crank it up and put the butter on the skin. Butter, like some kind of fat or oil on the skin, that'll crisp it up. Put it on like for the last couple of minutes. Don't cover your birds. A lot of people cover them, and that creates a steaming effect, and you're not going to get that crisp skin,
Okay, this person says they want to wrap the turkey in bacon. That's okay to do.
Sure. I mean, that's we call that barding.
But then they said the bacon is expired. The use by date is over. Don't use it.
And that's probably a good idea. If it says don't use it, don't use it.
Yeah. And then this person says, okay, And you can cook the turkey breast upside down. They were asking that just in case one more time, because they said that they've never seen that done before.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, and it's fine. A lot of chefs will argue, oh, this is the way to do it, this is the way to do it. And there's so many different ways of cooking it. It's just end result. It's just end result. And make sure it's cooked to temperature. That's the bottom line. Make
That
sure it's
is the
cooked
bottom
165
line.
degrees.
All right, cooked to temperature. And someone said, I've never cooked a turkey. Where do I start? There's lots of things on YouTube. The Butterball website is a great place to start. It kind of goes all the way down the line. Maybe we need to have you on one time to cook it from start to finish.
Well,
Chef,
I could have did that.
Chef Romano, thank you. Thank you for your questions. All of them will be in the Two Wants to Know section.